Rayan moved into the apartment on a rainy evening. The building looked normal, just old and unusually quiet. The landlord handed him a single key and avoided eye contact before leaving. At the end of the narrow hallway inside the apartment, there was one extra door. The landlord had only said one thing about it. That room should always stay closed. The first night felt calm. Rain tapped softly against the windows, and the apartment seemed peaceful. Rayan went to sleep around midnight, exhausted from moving boxers all day. The room felt colder than before, and the silence felt heavy. Then he heard a faint click. It came from the hallway. He sat up slowly, listening carefully. A soft creaking sound followed, like wood moving under pressure. Rayan stepped out of bed and opened his bedroom door carefully. The hallway light was flickering weakly. At the end of the hall, the extra door was open. He was certain it had been closed. The darkness inside that room looked thick, almost solid. Nervous, but curious, Rayan walked slowly toward it. The floor creaked under his weight, and the air felt strangely heavy. When he reached the doorway, he stopped. The room looked completely empty. No furniture, no windows, just bare walls. He turned on his phone, flashlight. The light barely reached the corners. Long, thin scratches covered the paint, as if someone had dragged their nails across the walls again and again. A sudden chill ran down his spine. He stepped inside. The temperature dropped instantly. It sounded far away, impossible to understand. Rayan turned quickly toward the hallway. The door behind him began to move. It started closing, slowly. Panic hit him, and he rushed forward, grabbing the handle before it shut completely. His heart pounded loudly in his chest. He stepped back into the hallway and forced the door closed. He returned to his bedroom and checked the time. 3:19 a.m. He convinced himself it was stress and exhaustion. The next night, he stayed awake on purpose. He watched the clock carefully. At 3:16 a.m., the apartment fell completely silent. Even the distant city noise seemed to disappear. 3:17 a.m. A loud click echoed down the hallway. The locked door slowly opened again. Fear rose inside him, but he forced himself to step into the hallway. The extra room was open wide. It remained completely still in the corner. Too dark to see clearly, too tall to be normal, Rayan whispered, asking who was there. The shadow did not respond. It slowly turned its head toward him. The hallway light flickered violently. The shadow took one slow step forward. Its shape looked almost human, but its arms seemed too long, stretching slightly past where they should. The temperature dropped sharply again. Rayan stepped backward. The shadow stepped forward. He turned and ran to his bedroom, slamming the door shut behind him. He pressed his back against it, breathing heavily. Silence filled the apartment. Then came 3 slow knocks, directly on his bedroom door. Each knock felt heavy, deliberate, patient. For several long seconds, nothing happened. Slowly, he opened his eyes. The door he was leaning against was no longer there. 3:17 a.m. The shadow tilted its head and slowly smiled.